Hello YouTube, today I'll be showcasing my Chaos Ninjas deck. Now this isn't exactly a great deck, I want to say. This is just like a nice little fun deck that you can have because it's kind of control based, but it's really explosive. Now I haven't had the chance to really play meta decks like Chaos Dragons or Spellbooks, but I think if given the right opportunity, like if I draw the right cards and all that, we will stand a good chance against them. I've had a chance to play against Evil Swarm, and if I can't develop card advantage early in the game, and they go like first turn Ophion or whatever, yeah, it's pretty much GG from there. So anyways, let us begin with the duels. First duel is up against a Dragoon player. He really wasn't a good player, really, I should say. And you'll see why, because he misplayed so hard. I used to be a Dragoon player, so I know pretty much mostly about the deck. I think starting off with Legionnaire wasn't exactly great. I mean, because he knew I had Super Transformation, really. And then redoing Dragon Ravine to dump a Duts to get another Duts. That was really bad on his part. But that's what he did. And I guess he really wants to get rid of, like, my monsters. Well, my, like, Pulsar, really. So he keeps going Legionnaire. But really what he should have done was start syncering with Duts. And if you look through his Astra, I guess he's playing like a Fabled variant. But yeah. So pretty much I'm in good shape right here. I got nice card advantage. I got a like Pulsar out. I got a call to go for Super Transformation. And I had top deck charge a Light Brigade to get Lila. And I do have to pop his Ravine. Because Dragoon is really bad without Ravine, to be honest. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I know you have Duts, so why haven't you been like syncering? Because you can just go synchro for days, really, with this deck. And, well, you see what happened, and he pretty much lost in a couple turns. So, now we have Noble Knights. And I really like this. Actually, this is the wrong one. Excuse me. Let's play this one, because that one for some reason has an error to it or whatever. But anyways, yeah, this Noble Knight player, I actually had fun playing against him. I like this deck, really. It was a nice, refreshing duel to have. So as way, I start with Card Trooper, and he immediately goes Phoenix Chain. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, whatever. Because with Card Trooper's effect, you can use this effect to mill, because that's a cost, but it won't gain the attack. And thank godfully I milled the breakthrough skills, because it actually comes very useful for my play that you'll see later in the duel. And so yeah, he starts derping on me with his Noble Knights, and at this point I'm just like, okay, whatever. I really thought I was gonna lose, but I topped that Dark Hole. And so, at the Dark Hole, he chains Omega, and then I banish Breakthrough Skill. And that's why I'm glad I actually opened up with Card Trooper, because if I really didn't open up with Card Trooper, I probably would have lost this duel. But yeah. So clear his field, prepare to make my move. Go Debris, special summon the Card Trooper, mill some more. Red Eyes, going to like Pulsar, attack. Pretty standard play if you ask me. Yeah. And so top that's Torrential. And he tries to make his play, go Starlight, attack over me. And at this point I'm like, okay. Heavy call, like Pulsar. Like Pulsar effect will go through, go back to Red Eyes. Summon like Pulsar attack over. And I guess I milled for no reason apparently, but yeah, that's pretty much game against this Noble Knights player. He actually had me on the ropes for a little bit, but yeah. Psychics. This duel, I don't exactly remember it, so we'll both see what happens. Start off with Rhoda to go into Hanzo, Super Transformation, and set Lance, which I think is will be the optimal play with that hand. But he goes to Card Trooper, mills 3, attacks over it. But I just go into super transformation and go to like pulsar. So he just sets emergency teleport in turn. I use Upstart's ninja effect. Go to Hanzo to dump I should have dumped the Eclipse in here, but I didn't, and I dumped the Red Eye, so that was a misplay on my part. He MSTs, he reborns my Darkness Metal. See, massive misplay. Grand Mole, return both back to hand, and whatever. So my field is pretty much cleared. Charge, go to Raikou, set Raikou, and at this point, I was thinking that I could use Raikou's ability to pop the Grand Mole, but I wasn't able to. I guess I misunderstood his effect or whatever. So I top deck a true super transformation, and at this point I just try to summon Upstart Ninja to bait into that, really, per se. And he goes to ultimate at Sun Kicker. I let him destroy that so I can get my red eyes out. He gains life points, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Now I make my play. Red eyes to like Pulsar, BLS, and at that point he pretty much quit because he knew that was game. Sit Sams. This Sit Sam deck wasn't really good because, as you can see, he starts with a 50 card deck, and I'm like, why the fuck would you have a 50 card Sit Sam's deck? Because that's really retarded. But yeah, he goes reborns my like Pulsar, summon that, attack, which I think was an okay play. I think he could have done better. But yeah. So I set Raikou in turn. And pretty much he goes off because Sit Sam pretty much has the ability to spam regardless. And I pop the back row because I know I have a play and 100 life points left. So I'm like, okay, whatever, it's cool. So breakthrough skill on Nishi, so he can't like return anything to hand. I reborn the Hanzo, banish the Red Dragon Archfiend, going to like Pulsar, going to Gauntlet Shooter, which I honestly think is an underrated SYZ because I think Gauntlet Shooter is, or Gauntlet Launcher or whatever, is actually a really good card to like get past monsters when you're down like I was. So yeah, summon BLS, attack, and that's game. And pretty much only took me 2 turns to turn that whole duel around. Spellcasters. This was a fun duel I had with this guy. And it was a different type of duel per se because it was actually really different. Seeing like spellcasters who actually rely on like spell counters, whatever, actually pretty fun to see. Yeah, so pretty much I think his deck was pretty much made to go into like this guy and like lockdown. The field, if I for like back row heavy decks, but just so you can see like Chaos Ninjas isn't like a very heavy back row deck. So I go into Caius. I wanted to banish that, but I couldn't because the dress. So I banished the Crusader. And yeah, so pretty much I'm in a good position right now. And he summons the Exemplar from the Magical Undertaker. And so actually he starts to do his move again. So he removes the Eclipse Wyvern and the Breakthrough skill, which I was like, okay, free dad, woohoo. And at first I thought this was a misplay because I basically gave it more counters, but thank God the card effect is only once per turn. So I go upstart, ditch that, get Hanzo, get another upstart for the next turn, then I go into King Arthur. Attack over that, end turn. Now the reason why I like King Arthur is because it's pretty much another lead yoke for warriors. That's the way I think of it. Because if it would be destroyed by battle, you can detach 1 SYZ material. You gain 500 attack and inflict 500 attack on your opponent. But yeah, at this point it got an error or whatever, but my play pretty much was attack into the Magician with Arthur, detach the Hanzo, then attack over the Magician with Excalibur, and then since I have three Dark in the Grave, summon Dad, pop Monster, in turn, and pretty much I won from there. Actually, he actually scooped or whatever because he knew I won at that point. But yeah, that was a fun duel. Um, and so yeah, here's the deck. One red ice, darkness metal, standard in any chaos dragon based deck. One track, prevent OTKs. That's the main purpose of it, and I can use it for rank 4 plays if I have another rank 4 in hand. BLS, standard in any kind of chaos deck. Dark Horse is a tech card, my own personal choice, mostly with super transformation, because most of the times I'm playing like decks that like make rank 4s and they go 4 or whatever. So before that, I'll just change super transformation, tribute in Hanzo or whatever in their card, get Dark Horse, and have a 3000 beater. So yeah, Dark Arm, pretty standard in any other Chaos Dragon deck really. 3 light pulsar, that's staple. And if you don't know why it's staple, then I don't know why you're watching the video. Just kidding, but yeah, this card is really good because the effect when it's sent to the graveyard, special summon level 5 or higher a dark dragon type monster. So that means either this or this. And this one, whereas Darkness Metal reborns other dragon types from the graveyard or hand. And Dark Horse, pretty much 3000 beater, like I said before, and is also a target for like Pulsar and Super Transformation. One Caius is another tech choice because it helps me make rank 6s. A common combo I like to use with this is if I use Lila effect, tribute to Lila, banish whatever card on their side of the field, and special summon either Chaos Sorcerer or have like Pulsar in the field, and then go into rank 6. But I get to my Astro deck later. Chaos Sorcerer, pretty much standard in any other Chaos deck. 3 Hanzo, since this is a ninja build, standard as well. Hanzo searches for the super transformations, and also searches for upstart ninjas if it's special summoned by the upstart ninja, which is good. 2 Lila, I had 3 before, but I had to cut it down to 2 for space. Pretty much I use Lila to burn through their back row, because if it gets bombless or anything, I'm okay with that because it pretty much serves its purpose. And 1 Eclipse Wyvern, pretty standard as well. Ada Eilerson's dad, Dark Arm Dragon, whereas Dark's Metal, a Dark Horse, banished, and then pretty much uses like Pulsar, Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, etc., etc. Bring it back to hand and go from there. 1 Debris Dragon, I want to run 2, but space kind of limits me because of how I use the deck. But pretty much this is used for rank 4 plays, like special summon Upstart Ninja, and then go for rank 4. Or I can go in a card trooper sync for Black Rose if I ever need Black Rose. Upstart Ninja, staple in this deck. Pretty much if I have a trap that I don't necessarily need, which is more likely going to be the breakthrough skill, so I can use on my next turn, I'll pitch that, go to Hanzo, search for another upstart, and XYZ. So yeah, that's a pretty standard play for upstart. Guard Trooper Mills, draw a card when it's destroyed, pretty much. Yeah, that's the main reason I use that. Can't really explain anything else for that. But yeah, Raikou pops, Mills, good card. Heavy as my main spell, destruction. Rhoda searches out. Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, staples. Charge, Mills searches for Lila Raikou, which is good. Book of Moon, great spell card. I think it's pretty much underrated because I don't see it a lot, but I think it's a really versatile spell card. 2 Lance, which is kind of a staple. Protects my monsters, you know. Breakthrough skills, does the job a Veiler does, that when I don't run a Veiler, obviously. And has great synergy with the ninjas, mostly Upstart Ninja. Super Transformation, staple for Hanzo and Upstart. Pretty much summon Hanzo, go for Super Transformation, wait till they summon, and go from there. And 3 calls, which is good to combo with, because it's not only good for Upstart Ninja effect, but it can also reborn anything that you need at the moment. So for say if you needed to banish a dragon to go for red eye darkness metal, you go call reborn like debris dragon or like light pulsar or whatever, banish that and go from there. And yes, your deck, one trident dragon, Dragon goes with debris dragon and like pulsar if I ever get the chance. I barely run into him, but he's a good tech. Black Rose if I ever need to blow up the field. Again, debris dragon and ancient fairy dragon is a personal tech of mine. Pretty much lets me destroy field spells, gain life points, and yeah, I can't really explain that. Telemi, great card. Pretty much put things back in my hand that I need, like BLS, KF Sorcerer, anything that I need. Gauntlet Launcher pops monsters and I can still attack that same turn, so that's a really good card. Gemini Pearl, mostly for Ophion. Cosmic Hero King Arthur, Mini Lead Yoke. If you didn't hear me explain in the video, can be destroyed by battle. Well, it actually can, but if it would be destroyed by battle, gain 500, burn 500. Queen Dragon Djinn, staple, really, I guess you could say. Reborn's Dragons if I don't have red eyes on the field. But Pillow is a tech of mine because I run into like a lot of decks that sets monsters really, and Papilla is great to get over that. Excalibur goes great with the whole ninjas build. Mindstroke, great card. Blue Moon Fett and can save itself. The Volvo Chain sets up plays if I go first. So say if I go Upstart, ditch a trap, go to Hanzo search, go to Volvo Chain, ditch Eclipse Wyvern, and usually I would detach the Hanzo because since Hanzo is a dark, Wyvern is a light, pretty much great synergy. You go like Pulsar and you get this back in the hand or whatever. And yeah, Degusto Emerald recycles. Nothing else much more to say about that. Bristol is another excuse me, another tech card I use, and Gaia Cowboy wins games basically. Side deck, 3 Maxis, self-explanatory, drawn like birds. For the spellbook and Elemental Dragon matchup, 1 number 85 Crazy Bots for my Eradicators, 3 MSTs, and Royal Decree, 3 Royal Decree. And so yeah, basically that's the deck profile. If you have any suggestions, please leave it in the comment box, and like, comment, rate, subscribe, you know, all that shit. And yeah, good day.